Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. There, a bit of light on the subject. Firstly, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and thank you to those of you who've gone over to the Aussie Goddess Astro Tarot as well. I still read all of your comments. I feel like some of you, your names are so familiar to me now. I feel like I know you, and I know that I have met a couple of you, which is always good too. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot for your reading today. There was something I was going to talk about today. Oh, my life coaching. All right, because I had somebody ring up. It's been a little while since I've taken on new people. And of course, as I say to you, I love the life coaching component of my work. Life coaching. If you're interested in doing life coaching with me, please email me and at least let me send you some information and maybe even have a chat with you. Most people who come through me for life coaching have had very, very similar backgrounds. I'm sure that many of us have had those. We find it difficult to sort of move on in life because we're very fixated by what happened to us when we were young. And of course, there are psychological and socialization reasons for why we get to where we do. So, for example, I'm always talking to people about things like people pleasing, the empathy we feel, the fact that we find it really difficult to say no to people. All of those things are part of our upbringing and the way we were taught. And for some people, they're quite happy to be like that. For other people, they find that difficult to change about themselves. But for many people, they get to a point in their life where they realize people have taken advantage of them and they want to make the changes in their life. And that's the sort of work I do primarily. For other people, it could be that you haven't been in a relationship for a while. You may not understand how to raise your vibration, be more comfortable in your own skin, learning how to love yourself. But what I do with the life coaching is I talk to you first about, your background. So I get a bit of an understanding of where some of the thinking, the limited thinking or victim mentality or whatever it is that you've got stuck in. So first off, I do that. Then we set some goals. I ask you where you want to go, what you want to do, what you want to achieve in the time you're doing that. And then I move on to working with you. We usually book a Zoom appointment. We try to have it at the same time every week because I feel that's important. And you do need at least 6 weeks to make a change, a habit change. And you need to work on stuff that I give you or watch videos that I give you or whatever, just to reinforce what you've learned in that session. Now, some people do go on for some weeks after that. Other people feel that 6 sessions is enough. Some people find it very confronting and don't want to move on. Whatever it is for you, of course, I don't pressure you or, make you do something you don't want to do. So we move at your pace. If you're interested in doing that with me, flick me an email and I'll send you information through. You've got to commit to 6 sessions, even though sometimes I know that is beyond your control. But it's a very good process, and I've got some beautiful feedback from the people I've worked with over the years, so I probably should put that up for you. But if you're interested, ring me and have a chat. If it's not for you, it's not for you. All right, let's get into this reading. Did I say I was using the Gilded Tarot? All right, so I have the 5 of Pentacles. How very opportune after talking about that. The 5 of Cups, in fact, not Pentacles, which is quite interesting because the 5 of Pentacles is a card of feeling lonely and left behind. So it's quite an interesting energy that I've just called it that. So the 5 of Cups, I feel, relates more to relationships, especially because the 2 cups behind this person are still intact and standing, and 3 cups are tipped over. And this is that, all the tarot cards have these sort of things that I think about that become attached to the cards over the years. And I guess that's why for some tarot readers might see a card in a slightly different way. But for me, this is the crying over spilt milk. It's that looking back at the past with regrets and remorse, feeling very sad about the past. And we're not talking about happy thoughts. We're talking about focusing on things that are very negative. Now, the number one thing, of course, is you can never change the past. It just won't happen. It's already been done, dusted, and gone. And why I say it's so important for us to focus on this present moment. But in this particular card, it implies that this person is stuck in that energy. It's not just a fleeting thing. This person can't move on. They're having difficulties, and not because they're not looking at the possibilities or what sits in front of them or what could happen or might happen. They are still focused on what they lost here. All right, so we have the Temperance card. Beautiful. See, completely out of balance. If you're stuck in your past and you're not looking forward to the future, or you're not, and we don't want to look like, we want to plan goals for the future, but we don't want to be focused on the future either. So what we need to do is learn how to sit in the present moment. An experience I learned from Eckhart Tolle. So it is really difficult to do once you start. It just seems so out of reach, you know, trying to just stay present in the moment. But once you, I almost want to say qualify it, once you start to understand it, it becomes so much more natural to just sit there. Now, this doesn't mean you don't trip into the past or flick into the future, but what it means is you learn that only the present moment exists. The past will never change, but it's gone, and the future is the future. We don't know what's going to happen in the future either. So by staying in the present moment, we're able to manifest more easily. So I feel like with this Temperance card, you're being asked to really focus on the present moment, where you are in time, what you want in your future, so that you can start manifesting the life you want. And I feel like here, this goes right alongside this energy here, is that some of you here may be very focused on a past event, a past person, a past conversation, a past realization here. But something here is still holding you back. Some sort of pain of the past is still with you here. And the universe is saying, here you go, here's your abundance. All you need to do is not keep looking back, but to learn how to look forward, or learn how to stay in the present moment. I'm going to go one more. All right, so we do have, okay. Oh, I like that a lot. For me here, the Page of Pentacles is always a gift from the universe. It's, for me, a little different to the other pages, because I always see the other pages as always the pages of messengers, but I always see them as more of a practical message. Whereas for some reason with the Page of Pentacles, I always feel like it's that message from above, or that message from spirit, or something that you're feeling or hearing that isn't coming in a practical sense. So I don't know why that is, because the Page of Pentacles is very practical, but for me it's almost like the offering of karma. So I've always felt that way about him, her. So what I see here is this tossing up here. So maybe for some of you here, you're starting to understand that you want to let go of the past, or let go of something here that's holding you back. So it may be letting go of something like people, a person. It could be letting go of a relationship you're currently in because it's very negative. But you are tossing up here. You're tossing up, and you're in sort of this flux energy of, how do I do this? What do I do? How do I move forward? Because you're bringing through this change. You're bringing through some sort of energy of, I need to let go. I need to move forward. I don't want to be stuck in the past. I want to be present in my body every moment of the day that I can be. But in order to do that, I know I have to make changes. And I feel like you're making, what I see is conscious changes. So sometimes we just grieve things out. We move forward. Sometimes that can take a long while. And we can do that in a more sort of, I guess, natural way, in that is sooner or later your memories start to fade and it doesn't become such a problem. But sometimes we can actually move that process along. You can do it through a counselor. You could do it through talking to friends. Sometimes you can do it through doing spiritual work, meditation. But whatever this is here, it makes me feel like you're consciously changing something to help yourself along. And look at you go, moving away from the situation here with the Eight of Cups. You know, this is beautiful, because what you're realizing here is that being in this present energy isn't really benefiting you. It's not benefiting your life. So if you're in this really low vibration and always looking back, then your vibration stays low. I often say to people, you can tell where somebody's vibration is. It's not hard to do. And if you're empathic, it can become quite an easy thing to do. So you can actually watch people on television. If they're acting, it's really good actually. Watch a movie where someone's acting, because you'll be able to pick up who's high vibrating and who's low vibrating just by watching a movie. If you watch somebody in the news, for example, you can tell as well. But if we've always got sadness around us and we're always feeling miserable, then we're just going to put out this vibration that says, like, I'm not really interested, don't deal with me, I'm sad. And I know that physically we can see that in some people, shoulders dropping, head low, not engaging, those sort of things. So it actually comes across in your physical body. But I feel like here that you've had enough of this energy. Somehow or another, you're trying to work out how to, because you're walking towards the moon. So it's almost like you want to expose your feelings or open up your feelings so that you can move in a new direction. So you may be shedding energy here. All right, so there it is, 5 of Pentacles. Crazy, isn't it? All right, and then we have the 2 of Cups. And look, the Moon card after I just said the Moon. Sometimes it's so evident to me, it's almost like, having an iPhone, and sometimes you talk about something and then it comes up on your iPhone. I talk about things in the readings and then Spirit would just kindly give me the cards to reflect those things I'm talking about. So I feel like here with the 2 of Cups, this definitely has something to do with a relationship. It could be learning to let go of a past relationship. It could be a relationship, something that you've hung on to that's, not going to eventuate. Whatever this is, to me, it feels like it's got something to do with a relationship. The fact that I have the 5 of Pentacles here, though, does make me feel that you are feeling very low about this. The Moon card, for me, is about buried emotion. Like emotions that have never been brought to the surface. So sometimes when we're feeling sad about something, we can tend to, I know that it took me a lot of years to learn how to speak up, but we can immerse ourselves in our own sadness. And that, of course, that just keeps bringing us further and further down because we reinforce it with our negative thoughts. So we're feeling sad and then we get to a point where we think, we just deserve this. This is my life. This is all I have. And then we drop straight into the victim mentality. Why am I here? Why did I get this? I didn't deserve this. Where's my time in the sun? And that sort of then gets you right into that victim mentality, which is really, you've got to see that for yourself before you can shift it. And I know that people will tell you or sort of question where you are and if you're okay, but you're not really getting out of that energy. So I feel like with the Moon here, you might be walking away from it. I don't feel you're hanging on to this anymore. I feel that you're perhaps ready for something new here with this 2 of Cups. Perhaps you are not wanting to be buried in those emotions anymore. Let's have a little bit of a look. So we have the 2 of Wands. That's a nice card to get there. Look at this with the Hanged Man. You can move forward. You just got to see things from a different perspective. You've got to turn your back on what's made you unhappy and move forward with that 5 of Swords. So that's really nice energy. It's a little harsh in the way it sort of comes across. But I feel like sometimes it's really hard to mask the honesty of the tarot. And you can do it in the most diplomatic and kind way you want to. But at the end of the day, you have to deliver the message. So for me, this is actually making the decision to turn your back on something. And I feel like sometimes when I say to people, are you ready to leave this behind? Are you ready? Do you want to leave it behind, or does clinging on to it somehow make you feel more real or identify with something? I know pain can sometimes make us feel more alive, which is crazy, but it does. That's why people self-harm. It's really awful, but it's the way life is. So sometimes we have to decide, quite honestly, that this isn't the way we want to be anymore. We want new love in our lives. We want to be with somebody. We want to, change our job. We want to move on from our sadness, whatever it is for you. But the Hanged Man always says to me that you've got to see something from a different perspective. If you want a new road to open up, if you want to move forward, you've got to see things differently. And if you're always focused on what happened in the past, it's going to be very hard to leave it behind. The past, I always say, it sometimes has its hooks in you. Sometimes it just keeps you where it needs you to be. But I feel like that's almost like self-punishment. So we have the Tower. Well, there you go. Maybe something is going to happen. I feel like a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo person is going to be instrumental in helping you move forward. Whoops, that's me. I've never seen that before. I think that's quite interesting because the Tower's here. Now, we all know the Tower comes around when something just cannot exist in its current form. So whatever this is, whether it's a foundation you've built, whether it's an idea you've built, whether it's some sort of energy of something you have built for yourself that you feel safe in, but you're safe in your own prison here. You've imprisoned yourself. And all of a sudden, I feel like the energy here of somebody is going to help you move forward. Now, the Queen of Pentacles can be a mother figure. Or a partner figure. Absolutely. For me, she's the partner. But maybe somebody here who's quite close to you, maybe not. Maybe it's a counselor. But somebody here is going to be instrumental in moving you forward. And that very often means that somebody hasn't really named what's going on, but maybe inadvertently says something that makes you feel, I can't do this anymore. 16:16 on the clock. I can't do this way anymore. It's not serving me. I don't feel comfortable. And now I want to move forward. So when somebody's pressuring you to move forward, it's very difficult. You've got to make the choice yourself. It's like giving up an addiction. You're addicted to the past. So you have to make the decision on how you want to move forward here and let go of the burdens that have kept you trapped. So this can be, you know, things people have said, things people have done, sadness, unhappiness. It's too much to carry now. It's done and dusted and needs to be moved away from. All right, so something is keeping you trapped in the past here. I feel like you're out of balance and maybe seeking at this time to find balance. But this unhappiness or this sadness that you're feeling is keeping you trapped. I do feel abundance is out there for you, but you've got to make some sort of decision here to make the changes and accept that something will happen to allow you to move forward. Whether this is an offer of something, could be somebody offering you an opportunity, could be something opening up for you here. Maybe, you know, finally something has happened to make you realize that you can move forward on your journey. All right, let's have a look at an oracle. So we might read from the Starseed Oracle here. Oh, that came straight out. Oh my goodness, there you go. Oh, that is perfect. Look at that. Portal. And that's what I mean. Some sort of door is opening for you here. I wasn't seeing it as a door. I was seeing it as sort of like a change or an opportunity. So whatever it is, Spirit is saying it's a portal. So let's have a look and see what it says. Oh, beautiful. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. Doors are opening for you. Your thoughts are extra powerful for you right now. Planets are aligning. The timing is right. The universe is saying, yes, you have the Midas touch. You know, I remember saying something about the Midas touch the other day. If you don't know who Midas was, there was a story about Midas where he was sort of, I think, greedy, but he was bewitched and everything he touched turned to gold. So that isn't very nice because I think he touches his daughter. Oh, not in an appropriate way, but maybe. He hugs her or something, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure he turns his daughter to gold. That's when he realizes that he didn't want that to start with. But if any of you know the story, I'm happy for you to tell it. Your hard work is being rewarded. This is a time when you can reap the rewards for efforts made in the past. It's also a time when you can achieve a lot. Great leaps can be made. Extreme transformation can occur. Great distances can be traveled in a short space of time. You're swimming with the cosmic current of life. What experience would you like to have? What do you want to create? What new adventure would you like to manifest? Don't lose focus. Use this moment in time wisely. Be conscious and clear with your emotions and thinking. Projects that you've been working on are coming to fruition. So maybe this is in regard to a project. Things are in full bloom. It's time for you to take your harvest and taste your well-earned fruits. I remember one of you saying you were starting on a business, or you were trying to get your business off the ground. When this card comes up in a spread, it's a sure sign that effortless change is possible. If you've been looking for a sign, this is your portal into that new reality. Now is the time to make big changes. If you've been guided to switch things up, you're extremely well supported right now. Use this energy and jump right on it. I love what I do. I'll see you. Thank you.